Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, August 3rd. A lot to talk about this morning. Tropical storm Isaias is off the northeastern part of Florida this morning, moving almost due north at around 9 miles per hour. It is likely to make landfall later on tonight, somewhere near the South Carolina, North Carolina border region. Could intensify enough to become a Category 1 hurricane before it makes landfall tonight, and then it rides up along the I-95 corridor, producing a major rain and wind event for the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. A possibility of up to 6 inches or so of rainfall tomorrow in the I-95 corridor region of the Mid-Atlantic region, along with strong sustained winds and potentially damaging wind gusts. Certainly can see 50 mile per hour sustained winds inland and up to 70 miles per hour in coastal sections. This will come with all the works. It could be isolated tornadoes, and certainly flash flooding is a serious concern, again with several inches of rain coming to the Mid-Atlantic's I-95 corridor region on Tuesday. The primary time period will be Tuesday and Tuesday night. It could get underway late tonight, towards tomorrow morning, towards daybreak, and end as late as early Wednesday morning. But again, the main time period we're talking about for the Mid-Atlantic region is Tuesday and Tuesday night. Here's the latest positioning of Tropical Storm Isaias with maximum sustained winds of 70 miles per hour. Won't take much to intensify, to increase into Category 1 hurricane status. It avoided making landfall in Florida. It stayed off the coast, maybe as close as 50 miles or so at times along the east central part of Florida. And the fact that it stayed off the coast kind of helped it to maintain its intensity as a strong tropical storm yesterday. And it is currently right over, we'll see this in a moment here, very, very warm waters of the Gulf Stream, where in some areas it exceeds 30 degrees Celsius. For the past several hours, there has been some wind shear in its local environment. That will tend to dissipate over the next 6 to 12 hours or so. So again, there can be enough intensification later on today into tonight for it to reach hurricane status once again, and that likely would be Category 1, and then make landfall somewhere in this region right here, maybe the South Carolina, North Carolina border. After that, heads towards Norfolk, maybe over the Delmarva Peninsula and into southern part of New Jersey. Ultimately moves all the way up into northern New England. There's another wave on its heels, but that likely will never make its way to the U.S. East Coast. Again, a major rain and wind event coming to the Mid-Atlantic region on Tuesday, and that follows landfall this evening in the Carolinas, where of course there will be significant rain and wind as well. Well, here's the official storm track prediction by NOAA's National Hurricane Center. Again, right now the current position off the northeast coast of Florida, slowly moving at only 9 miles per hour, almost due north, 355 degrees or 360 degrees would be due north. Again, it could intensify over the next 6 to 12 hours or so into weak hurricane status, Category 1, before making landfall, probably somewhere near the South Carolina, North Carolina border, and then pretty much over Norfolk, Virginia by early tomorrow, and later tomorrow over the Delmarva, southern part of New Jersey, on its way into northern New England by late Tuesday night and early Wednesday. Well, let's take a look at the sea surface temperature pattern in the southwestern part of the Atlantic Ocean. It's playing a key role with this particular system. Again, it stayed offshore as it passed by the eastern seaboard, the east coast of Florida on Sunday, maybe 50 miles or so off the coast as it rode to the north parallel to the coastline. But look at it now. This gray area right in here is 30 plus degrees Celsius sea surface temperature. These are not anomalies we're looking at here. These are actual temperatures here. This is certainly sufficient to support a hurricane. And again, the position right now of Isaias is right in this region right here, and it'll move north and then maybe a little bit north-northeast right into this region, South Carolina, North Carolina border region. So again, it's a very favorable environment in terms of sea surface temperatures, supporting it underneath the very warm waters of the Gulf Stream. Again, there was some wind shear it had to deal with over the past 12 hours that likely will dissipate over the next 12 hours, allowing for the possibility of it reaching hurricane status before making landfall tonight in the Carolinas. Well, here's a look at the latest satellite imagery loop. Again, it's not the strongest of storms right now, 994 millibars at the center of Tropical Storm Isaias. However, doesn't mean it cannot become a major rain and wind producer on Tuesday, especially from the Carolinas through the Mid-Atlantic I-95 corridor region. Again, on Tuesday evening, I expect up to maybe hurricane force gusts along coastal sections of the Delmarva in New Jersey with maybe 50, 55 mile per hour sustained winds. Inland areas right along the D.C., Philadelphia to northern western suburbs of New York. Those areas get strong winds as well on Tuesday. Moving due north, should make landfall sometime this evening or overnight tonight in the South Carolina, North Carolina border region, then head on over southeastern Virginia to the Delmarva and the southern part of New Jersey by later Tuesday. But again, in a very warm section of the Atlantic Ocean right now where sea surface temperatures exceed 30 degrees Celsius, plenty sufficiently warm to support hurricane conditions here, and we'll watch for potential intensification into Category 1 later on this morning into the afternoon hours. Well, let's take a look at last night's operational run of the GFS, a 6Z model run. Just want to show the initial 500 millibar height anomaly map here we're looking at this morning, Monday morning. We talked all last week about this deep upper level trough right in this region right here, and it is in a position this morning to allow for the tropical storm Isaias to ride right up along the eastern seaboard in this fashion here. We have low pressure aloft to the west, high pressure to the east. Winds blow clockwise around highs, counterclockwise around lows, and that just produces this long fetch of basically south to north wind flow at multiple levels of the atmosphere, allowing for the movement of this system right up along the east coast later on today, tonight, and tomorrow, really right into Wednesday, all the way up into what likely will end up being interior part of New England during the day on Wednesday. Again, this system slowed down enough to allow for this tropical system to ride up the eastern seaboard. Well, let's now take a look at the surface forecast maps from last night's 6Z GFS. These maps, by the way, from tropicaltidbits.com. Here it is, this morning's position off the northeast coast of Florida. We'll just kind of quickly move forward here. Again, landfall tonight somewhere near the South Carolina, North Carolina border, perhaps as a hurricane. If so, probably it would be Category 1. Then it moves to the north and east and produces a major rain and wind event for places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Potential wind gusts of up to hurricane force along coastal sections of New Jersey and the Delmarva Peninsula and Long Island on Tuesday and Tuesday night, and perhaps up to as much as 6 inches of rain in some spots associated with Isaias on Tuesday and Tuesday night. No doubt that can cause some flash flooding. Isolated tornadoes, especially from I-95 east to the coast, on the table on Tuesday and Tuesday night. And again, very strong sustained winds all the way inland as well. Potential damaging wind gusts all the way into the interior part of the I-95 corridor region. Let's keep moving forward here, and ultimately it ends up in the northeastern part later on tomorrow night and into the day on Wednesday. And as Isaias continues to push to the north, it will pick up in its forward speed. Typically tropical systems accelerate as they move from the tropics into the higher latitudes. It's slow moving right now, northeast of Florida, only 9 miles per hour, but it will speed up over the next 24 hours, really over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. Rather typical of tropical systems, they accelerate as they move into the higher latitudes. So don't be surprised by its slow movement right now. It should be all the way into New England by early Wednesday morning. Again, landfall tonight somewhere in the Carolinas, probably near the South Carolina, North Carolina border, perhaps as a Category 1 hurricane. Whether or not it reaches hurricane status, it will become a major rain and wind event for the Mid-Atlantic's I-95 corridor region on Tuesday and Tuesday night, beginning by daybreak tomorrow in many areas and ending as late as very early Wednesday morning before it moves up into the northeastern part of the U.S. That's it for now. For PerspectiveWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.